3DO.
General Morgan Kendall was an Arathian knight who served the crown for many years during the reign of Nicholas Glyphonhart and beyond. A valiant knight and an excellent tactician, Sir Morgan started up as a mere lieutenant in Catherine's command. Nevertheless, by the end of his days, he became the de facto ruler of Arathia until the end of Artagrich. This is his story. Morgan Kendall served as a king's bannerman for many years during the long reign of Nicholas Glyphonhart. Showing great ingenuity and prowess in battle, he soon became one of the king's lieutenants. Morgan Kendall witnessed and partook in most of the king's glorious moments while battling the necromancers of Deja and banishing them from Arathia's northern borders. When Catherine Glyphonhart, the king's eldest daughter, started her military training, participating in a tour of duty with the Talon Brigade, Morgan Kendall served as lieutenant under her command. It was during these escapades that Morgan Kendall found Jellu, a half-elf baby, struggling to survive on its own as both of his parents were lost to the wars. Morgan Kendall saw the potential of the child and arranged for Jellu to be raised in the ranks of the Forest Guard, Arathia's eyes and ears. When the Arathian queen and her youngest daughter were killed by marauders, the king was left devastated. Catherine was sent in Enroth to marry the new king, Roland Ironfist. Morgan Kendall was promoted to general and took over the command of Arathia's armies. As the king was slowly succumbing to his grief, most of Arathia's governing matters fell into the hands of General Morgan Kendall. And indeed, he proved to be a great leader, as Arathia was still standing strong and prospering even with Catherine's absence. However, this didn't last long, as Sandro's plots on murdering the Arathian king were set in motion, and ultimately King Nicholas was murdered by the double agent Lord Hart. Following King Nicholas Glyphonhart's death, General Morgan Kendall became the regent of Arathia. Upon the king's death, forces of Kriegans and dungeon overlords started invading Arathia. Combining their strength, these forces were now heading towards Stedwick, the Arathian capital. During the first battle of Stedwick, Regent Morgan Kendall defended the city against the combined forces of Eofor and Nion. When Stedwick fell, Kendall was captured and imprisoned. Morgan Kendall was the only ruler in Arathia's history to ever allow the capital city of Stedwick to fall, a misfortune that weighed heavily on the seasoned general. Morgan Kendall remained imprisoned for quite a while and was forgotten by his captives. They had bigger problems in the east, as Queen Catherine returned to Arathia and mounted an offensive to reclaim her homeland. Aided by the Wizards of Brakara and the King of Avli, Catherine was able to push through the lines of defenses and reclaim Stedwick. During the Second Battle of Stedwick, when the great city was liberated, Regent Morgan Kendall was rescued by Sir Christian. Arathia was restored, but the problems didn't end there. The Kriegans, led by a new king and a fearsome general called Ziron, set out to set the world on fire with the use of the Armageddon's blade. Morgan Kendall was placed under the command of Roland Ironfist. In what was later known as the Battle of the Great Lake, General Morgan Kendall, along with King Roland Ironfist, with a combined Arathian and elemental conflux force, pushed the Kriegans back beyond the border. However, Queen Catherine had yet another threat to deal with, a threat within her own ranks. The Arathian nobles, weary of a string of endless wars, cried out for peace. Queen Catherine knew that she couldn't stop her wars against the Kriegans, as the whole world was at stake. Prior to the Battle of Krilla, General Morgan Kendall was given a decree by Queen Catherine Ironfist to act as a regent right before she abdicated her throne. Kendall's primary task was to find a new leader of Arathia. Catherine and Roland continued their wars against the demons, while Erathia was ruled by its new king, a man that Morgan Kendall trusted enough to bestow such authority. He was the first king of Erathia that wasn't a Griffonheart, though, as fate would have it, he also proved to be the last one, as the reckoning took place not long after his coronation. Though his name is now forgotten, his last deeds were honorable, as he aided Tarnum, the immortal hero, in his struggles to defeat the Dragon Queen Mutar, who tried to take over Antagarich with the use of her dragons. The new king of Erathia, as well as General Morgan Kendall, didn't survive the reckoning. Morgan Kendall was old when the world ended, and probably died during the cataclysmic events of the reckoning. His life and deeds lived on, however, as he still survived in the memories of the Erathian refugees who found a new home in the world of Axioth. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe on this channel and leave a comment below to let me know what other parts of Hero 3 lore you would like to be explored next. Cheers!